AITA for fighting my stepdad after he betrayed me? I'm torn, and the town's against me. I read it. I'm at 22M and I'm caught in a gut-wrenching mess with my stepdad, 50M, who I thought was one of the good ones. He did something shady that turned my life upside down, and nobody believed me until it blew up. Now I'm battling him in court, but he pulled off a wild win that's left me broke and alone. My family's mad, the town's divided, and I feel like I'm betraying a guy who's been there for me. Am I the asshole for pushing this fight, or should I keep going? This is tearing me apart, so please help me sort it out. I live in a mid-sized city where gossip's a blood sport. My mum passed in a car crash when I was 10, leaving a $200 0 K trust fund I can access at 25 for grad school or starting out. My dad, 45M, stayed involved but lived across state lines, so my stepdad Greg became my guardian. Greg married Mum when I was 8, and though I was skeptical at first, he won me over. He's a real estate agent, coaches Little League, runs church fundraisers, and throws barbecues that pack the street. Well, Greg helped with math homework and cheered louder than anyone at my soccer games. He paid for my braces when Mum's insurance fell short. When I bombed a science fair, he stayed up late building a new project, saying, "You're gonna shine, kid." Every Christmas he'd host game nights, his laugh booming over Monopoly battles. His kids, Leela, 14F, and Max, 14M, kept their distance, but Greg made me feel like family. Still, his polished charm felt too perfect, like he was always on. Last spring, I was a college senior, cramming for finals, when Mum's lawyer called, sounding off. "Ethan, did you sign adoption papers?" My heart froze. "No way, what are you talking about?" He sent the documents and my stomach sank. My signature was there, but I hadn't signed anything. The papers said Greg adopted me at 21 to make us official. I'd been on my own for years. Why now? I drove to Greg's, hands trembling, and found him hosing his SUV. "What's with these papers?" I asked, waving them. He looked annoyed, like I was overreacting. "Relax, Ethan, it's just paperwork," I pressed. "Why adopt me now?" He paused, then said, "I've raised you. That trust fund's partly mine. Your mum would have wanted it." I was floored. "You faked my signature?" He shrugged, eyes cold. "Good luck proving that." The trust fund was Mum's gift. $200,000 for my future. Greg's words hit hard. He'd forged the papers to control it until I'm 25, likely to siphon interest or early disbursements as my guardian. I later heard whispers at the diner. Greg's real estate business was struggling, debts piling up. It clicked. He saw the trust fund as a lifeline. I called Dad, voice trembling. "He's stealing your mum's money!" Dad roared, promising to help with a lawyer. Greg's family turned on me. Lila texted, "You're so ungrateful. Dad's been your everything." Max called me selfish. Neighbors who loved Greg's church pancake breakfasts gave me dirty looks at the store, whispering I was disrespecting my stepdad. Our town's obsessed with honoring parents, and Greg wasn't a deadbeat. He'd driven me to my first date, taught me to change a tire, sat with me when I cried over Mum. When my first crush rejected me at 15, he took me fishing, joking, "Plenty of fish in the sea." Suing him felt like betraying a guy who'd stepped up when Dad's visits were flaky. But letting him take Mum's money was unthinkable. I met my best friend Sam at a diner, spilling everything. "That's seriously messed up," he said, eyes wide. "You can't let him rob you." Dad agreed, wiring $1,000 to start. I hired Ms. Torres, a lawyer who didn't sugarcoat it. "This is fraud, but Greg's got the town eating out of his hand. It's going to be a fight." She filed to contest the adoption, citing forgery, and got an injunction to freeze the trust fund. The process was brutal. Court prep ate my nights, and I'd lie awake, haunted by Greg's proud grin when he taught me to grill. Was I shattering a family for money? Regret twisted my gut. But Mum's trust fund was her promise. I'd recall Greg's warmth when I aced a math test, fearing I'd become as cold as he was in that driveway. Greg fought dirty. He told everyone I was troubled, saying I'd always resented him. Lila and Max posted on X, calling me a traitor. Lila cornered me at the mall. "You're breaking Dad's heart," she said, voice sharp. "He loves you." I swallowed hard. "He's stealing from me, Lila." She walked away and I felt the town's judgment. My landlord, Greg's church buddy, raised my rent, claiming maintenance needs. Friends ghosted me, ditching our game nights. At the town fair, Mrs. Delaney, Greg's friend, pulled me aside. Family comes first, Ethan. Don't hurt Greg. I nodded, throat tight, but her words stung. Neighbors who'd waved now avoided me, their whispers cutting deep. At a summer block party, Mrs. Lyle, a friend of Greg's, muttered troublemaker as I grabbed a soda, her eyes narrowing. I left early, heart heavy, recalling how Greg slipped me extra cookies at church bake sales. Was I wrong to fight a guy who'd cared? The case hit the local paper. Local man accuses stepfather of fraud. It painted me as a whiny kid. Greg told reporters, I raised Ethan like my own. This hurts. Neighbors left casseroles at his door, while I got notes calling me spoiled. Dad flew in, fired up. He's a con man, no matter how nice he seems, he said, helping gather evidence. We hired a handwriting expert who confirmed the signature was fake, but Greg's lawyer called it a clerical error. The judge set trial for 6 months out, leaving me stuck. I fought back with truth. I posted on X, sharing screenshots of the forged papers, careful to stay legal. This is my mum's gift to me, I wrote. Some folks backed me, but Greg's allies slammed me, calling me a liar. Sam suggested contacting Jenna, a blogger who exposes scams. We met at a park and I gave her my evidence. This is huge, she said, scribbling. Her article, Stepdad's Adoption Scheme Targets Orphans Trust Fund, went viral locally. Neighbors like Mrs. Delaney messaged apologies, saying they'd misjudged me. I tried rallying old friends, texting my high school buddy Jake. Greg's not who you think, I wrote, linking the article. Jake replied, sounds like you're stirring drama, and blocked me. I organized a community meeting at the library, hoping to share my side. A few neighbors showed, like Mr. Carter, a retired teacher who'd known Mum. I believe you, he said, patting my shoulder, but Greg's friends crashed it, accusing me of slandering a good man. The meeting fell apart and I left defeated. I started a petition to local officials, asking for an investigation into Greg's actions, thinking it'd pressure him. I got signatures from Mr. Carter and a few others, but Greg's allies spread rumors I was harassing him and the petition stalled. At a town council meeting I spoke, voice shaking. My stepdad's actions hurt my family, I said. A council member, Greg's friend, cut me off. This isn't the place for personal grudges. I sat down, face burning, as whispers filled the room. I sat with Dad one night, staring at Mum's old photo. Was Greg ever good to you? He asked. I nodded, throat tight. He stayed up when I had nightmares, took me fishing, came to my graduation. But this, it's wrong. Dad hugged me. You're doing what's right. Doubt lingered. Greg's kindness was real, but so was his betrayal. At a church picnic, Mr. Carter pulled me aside. You're brave, Ethan. Your mum be proud. His words helped, but Mrs. Henderson's glares stung. Trial was intense. Greg's lawyer painted him as a hero. He wanted to secure Ethan's future, he said, gesturing to Greg, who looked crushed. Ms. Torres countered with the handwriting analysis, bank records of Greg's trust fund inquiries, and my testimony. He never asked me, I said, voice firm despite trembling hands. He faked my name for money. Lila's glare burned, Mac's fists clenched. The judge ruled for me, voiding the adoption and ordering Greg to pay $10,000 in damages for fraud. He faced a forgery charge, a felony with up to 3 years. Relief hit, but Lila's tears in the hallway cut deep. The town split. Some saw Greg's true side, others clung to his good guy image. The legal fallout kept coming. Post-trial, Greg's lawyer told reporters, we're appealing, justice will prevail. I overheard neighbors at the diner speculating. Greg's not backing down, one said. He's got something planned. I met Ms. Torres, nerves frayed. Can he really appeal, I asked, gripping my coffee. He can try, she said. We need to lock this down. She tracked down a notary who'd handled the forged papers, confirming Greg rushed her. Her deposition cost $1, 0 cents K for travel and court fees, draining my savings. Court delays, postponed twice, stretched my nerves thin. During appeal prep, Dad visited my cramped apartment, sensing my stress. We ate takeout, the room dim. You okay, kid? He asked, eyes soft. I keep thinking of Greg's good days, I admitted. Like when he consoled me after a college rejection, saying I'd find my path. Am I ruining him? Dad squeezed my shoulder. He chose this, Ethan. Mum's watching. His words steadied me, but fear lingered. Could I lose everything? Miss Torres uncovered rumors of Greg's business debts, suggesting he targeted the trust fund to cover losses, which fueled my resolve but deepened my guilt. Greg ramped up his campaign. He spoke at church, voice trembling. "I'm just a dad trying to do right," he said, earning applause. He posted on X, thanking supporters for standing by family. His followers flooded my posts with hate, calling me a liar. Lila and Max confronted me outside court before the appeal hearing. "You're ruining Dad's life," Lila snapped, tears streaming. "He's sick from..." Max added. "You're no brother." I stood there, heart twisting. "He stole from me," I said, voice breaking. They stormed off and I felt I'd lost them forever. Was I causing Greg's stress? I recalled his laugh when he taught me to grill, doubt creeping in. The appeal hearing was a nightmare. Greg's lawyer argued the judge was biased and the handwriting evidence tainted, zeroing in on a clerical error. Some clerk misfiled the forged papers with an incorrect timestamp, breaking the evidence chain. "This undermines the case," he said, waving the log. Ms. Torres countered, voice fierce. "The forgery's clear, bank records, expert analysis." The notary's statement faltered, deemed vague. I sat there, heart pounding, watching Greg fidget, his face pale. The wait for the ruling was torture. Weeks of sleepless nights, my savings dwindling. Against all odds, Greg won the appeal. The appellate court ruled the clerical error, caused by a clerk's timestamp oversight, compromised the evidence chain, deeming the handwriting analysis unreliable. They overturned the ruling, voiding the $10,000 damages and felony charge. The adoption stayed voided, but Greg walked free, smiling like he'd hit the jackpot. I was crushed, my savings gone, the trust fund at risk until I'm 25. Miss Torres was furious, pacing her office. "That clerk's mistake let him slip through. We can refile, but it's costly." Greg's family cheered on X, posting about his justice. At church, Mrs. Henderson stopped me. "You should let it go," she said, shaking her head. I walked away, chest tight. The appeal took a toll. I'd taken a part-time library job, my grades tanking as I juggled court dates. I lived on instant noodles, migraines flaring, panicking about the trust fund. My half-siblings, Emma and Lucas, 7, called from Dad's place. "You're a hero, Ethan," Emma said. Their voices kept me grounded, but regret over Greg's good deeds weighed heavy. I'd spent $5,000 more on fees, half from Dad's savings, the stress relentless. The fallout's been brutal. Jenna's article and my library meeting turned some neighbours against Greg, but his loyalists shunned me, muttering I caused trouble. Lila and Max cut me off, blaming me for their dad's pain. At a town festival, Mrs. Lyle whispered "troublemaker" as I passed, her voice sharp. I moved to a new apartment, needing space, but guilt's crushing. Greg wasn't perfect, but he showed up. Unlike Dad's flaky visits. I keep recalling his smile when he fixed my bike, saying, "You've got this, Ethan." Did I ruin a guy who cared over one bad choice? I'd walk past our old house, his laugh echoing as he taught me to grill. Dad's pushing me to keep going. "You're your mum's heart," he said last week, gripping my shoulder. I met Miss Torres yesterday, mulling a new lawsuit. "It's a long haul," she said, leaning across her desk. "Are you ready?" I hesitated, picturing Greg's pride at my graduation. Then Mum's laugh, her dreams for me. "Yeah," I said, voice firm, "I'm in." Greg's win was a fluke, but I'm not done. I owe Mum that much. Even if it means fighting a man who was good to me. Even if the town never forgives me. PLDR. My stepdad, who's been a great guy, did something shady to get my trust fund. I fought him in court and won. Until he pulled off a crazy appeal win on a technicality. Now I'm broke, family's mad, and the town's split. AITA for fighting him? Or should I keep going for my mom's money?
I feel for you, Ethan. But you're both wrong here. Greg shouldn't have forged those papers. It's a huge betrayal of trust, especially after being such a caring dad. But going straight to court and blasting him publicly, that's harsh for someone who raised you. The appeal shows the system's messed up, not that he's guilty. The town's torn because you both escalated this. Maybe try talking it out instead of another lawsuit to save your family.
You're the ass appeal, no question. Greg was a real dad to you, and you're dragging him through the mud over money you don't even need yet. Forgery's wrong, but he's drowning in debt, not evil. The town's right to call you ungrateful, you're acting like it. The appeal proves he's no criminal. Drop this and talk to him like a man, not some enemy.
Ethan, you're NTA, but this breaks my heart. Greg's betrayal hurts because he was so good to you. Those memories are real. Still, that trust fund's your mom's gift, and your right to protect it? The appeal's unfair. Courts fail sometimes. The town's judging you too quickly because they love Greg's charm. Keep fighting for your mom's legacy, but know it'll hurt more than just your wallet.
Everyone sucks here, but lean hard on Greg. Forging papers to steal your trust fund is slimy, no excuse. But you didn't need to go full courtroom drama and humiliate the guy who raised you. The trust fund's safe now. Why keep pushing? The appeal shows the system's a mess. The town split because you're both bullheaded. Cool it before you lose everyone.
YTA, Ethan, but this is a tragedy. Greg's actions broke your trust, especially with his debts pushing him to steal your mom's money. Those fishing trips and game nights weren't fake, which makes it hurt more. The appeal's a slap in the face. A clerk's mistake shouldn't erase justice. The town's too quick to side with Greg's charm. Keep fighting, but it'll cost you family and friends.
Yeah. Greg stepped up when your dad was AWOL. Homework, soccer, braces, and you repay him by suing over a mistake? He's human, not a thief. He thought the money was for family. The town's shunning you because you're ungrateful. The appeal proves he's no crook. Drop this and fix your family.
Ethan, you're not the asshole. Greg's a manipulator who used his good dad act to justify stealing your inheritance. Those kind moments were a setup to get that money. The appeal's a travesty. Courts are a mess sometimes. You're not betraying him, he betrayed you. Ignore the town's gossip and hit him with another lawsuit. Your mom's proud.
I'm sorry, but you're the asshole. Greg raised you when your dad wasn't around, and yeah, he messed up with the papers, but he's not a villain. He's desperate. You're tearing apart a family who loved you over money you don't need yet. The town's right to side with him? You seem entitled. Drop the lawsuit and talk it out.
NTA, Ethan, but this is rough. Greg's charm fooled everyone, and forging papers to grab your trust fund is unforgivable, debts or not. The appeal's a punch to the gut. Clerical errors shouldn't trump justice. The town's judging you because they buy Greg's act, not because you're wrong. Sue again, but it'll cost more than cash.
Yeah, hey, plain and simple. Greg was there for you, braces, fishing, game nights, and you're crucifying him over a desperate move. Forgery's wrong, but he's not evil. He's buried in debt, trying to save his family. The appeal shows he's no criminal. The town's shunning you for a reason. Drop this vendetta and act like family.
Lehas ware beharen gescheste marenigkeit, not the asshole. Haben Greg's snake hein who played the good guy to scam your mom's trust fund. That man is your legacy, not his piggy bank. The appeal's a fluke. Courts screw up. Keep fighting, you owe it to her. Don't let the town's gossip make you feel guilty for standing up.
You're not the asshole. But I'm torn. Greg's betrayal hurts because he was a real dad to you. Those memories aren't fake. Still, he had no right to your mom's money, especially with his shady debts. The appeal's a slap in the face. Courts fail sometimes. The town's too quick to pick sides. Keep fighting, Ethan, but it'll cost more than money. You're not wrong, but you're not winning hearts either.
Everyone's wrong here. Greg shouldn't have forged papers. But you're blowing this up. He raised you, paid for braces, and you're dragging him through court like a criminal. The trust fund's safe now. Why keep fighting? The appeal shows the system's broken. The town's split because you're both stubborn. Let it go before you lose everyone.
Not the asshole, Ethan, but this is a tragedy. Greg's actions broke your trust, especially with his debts pushing him to steal your mom's money. Those fishing trips and game nights weren't fake, which makes it hurt more. The appeal's a slap in the face. A clerk's mistake shouldn't erase justice. The town's too quick to side with Greg's charm. Keep fighting, but it'll cost you family and friends.